Chapter 11, Preparing and Delivering Business Presentations. Employers consider oral communication to be the most important skill for a new hire. Yet, according to human resource directors, only a small percentage, 24% of the graduates entering the workforce actually excel in oral communication. And employers continue to express concern that new workers need additional on-the-job oral communication training. This chapter will help you develop skills so that you can exceed the employer's expectations in one of the most important and challenging forms of oral communication in the workplace: business presentations. You can prepare yourself for this type of challenging presentations and other types of business presentations by practicing the systematic approach that you'll learn in this chapter. The approach includes analyzing your purpose, audience, setting and medium options, planning and organizing your key points, composing visual support, evaluating your presentation, delivering it effectively, and finally, evaluating your audience's response. The study questions are: what do you analyze when planning a business presentation? How do you compose a presentation? How do you deliver and evaluate? How do you handle questions and answers? And finally, how do you adapt your approach for online presentations? A business presentation is typically based on specific business question. In this chapter, we have a business scenario that poses a question to describe the best practices of preparing and delivering a presentation. Assume that you work for the Human Resources Department of Rowan Gray. Your job is to study the work environment in individual stores and to recommend changes that will improve worker satisfaction and productivity. One day, your supervisor asks you to analyze the personnel problems in the company's computer call centers, which handle both online orders and customer feedback. The manager of the Midwest call center has been complaining that his unit is experiencing high rates of sales staff turnover and absenteeism, and low rates of productivity. Your supervisor gave you exit interviews from 10 online sales clerks, all of whom quit due to headaches and eye strain. Based upon the exit interviews and additional research, you learn the following information. The annual turnover rate for employees who work in the call center is 55%, whereas turnover rates for employees on the sales floor is 40%. The excess turnover in the call centers costs a company over $600,000 a year in new employee training. Exit interviews show that people working in the call center routinely complain about headaches. The type of computer monitors combined with the lighting in the call centers lead to glare, which may be contributing to the headaches. In a meeting with your supervisor, you report your findings and suggest that Rowan Gray conduct a pilot program to determine if purchasing new computer monitors will reduce turnover and increase productivity. Your supervisor likes the idea and asks you to make a presentation to Carolyn Reese, Senior Vice President of Planning and Development, to get funding for this pilot program. The business question you will address is this: what is the cause of the high turnover and low productivity, and what can be done about it? Let's use the ACE process to analyze. As leadership expert Stephen Covey suggested, begin with the end in mind. Every good business presentation has a specific objective or intended outcome. Ask yourself, why am I delivering this presentation and what do I want to have happen as a result? Visualize that outcome and then ensure that everything in the presentation contributes to achieve it. In Figure 11.1, it lists the 4 general outcomes along with specific examples of each applied to the Rowan Gray scenario. Although you may start with a general purpose like those in the left column, always move to a more specific outcome like those in the right column. The more specific your objective, the easier it is to create an effective presentation. In the Rowan Gray scenario, you would choose just one of these outcomes. From this scenario, the Rowan Gray presentation clearly needs to be persuasive. The objective is to convince Carolyn Reese, the Senior VP, to approve the plan and fund a pilot program to purchase 100 new computer monitors that will reduce glare. With this specific objective in mind, you can analyze the audience. What will Ms. Reese need to know and believe to be convinced? Analyzing your audience helps you develop content, and if you know the people who will be in your audience, especially the decision makers, you can anticipate their needs, interests, attitudes, and possible biases. If you do not know the audience, imagine how they might respond. Figure 11.2 lists questions that will help you understand your audience. By answering these questions, you'll be able to tailor the presentation to your audience, making it easier for you to achieve your goal. In the Rowan Gray scenario, the key decision maker is Carolyn Reese, who originally developed the call center 8 years ago. She wants it to succeed. Ms. Reese is very interested in costs and cost savings and will not be motivated by arguments solely based upon employee happiness or unhappiness. She is skeptical about big promises, and she values proposals that are supported by logic and research. Imagine the audience of your presentation asking you, what is the one thing you want me to remember from this presentation? That one thing is your main message. The best messages will answer a question for the audience. Sometimes your audience will come to the presentation with a question in mind. At other times, you will need to raise that question for them in the first few minutes of your presentation. For the most business presentations, the message should take the audience's point of view, address the problem, concern, or need, present your solution, explicitly or implicitly lead your audience to the intended outcome. Here are some examples of this message for other business scenarios that highlight the value of what is being presented. Your employees can complete more training more quickly by using our new online learning system. Or adding a customer information system will give you help tracking capabilities we need to exceed when it comes to our sales goal for the next year. Or finally, the time is right now to expand into our new business markets because the demand for our products are rising sharply, and we are positioned well to enter with minimum investment. In the Rowan Gray scenario, the main message might be that investing in a new computer monitor or computer monitor system may help solve our employees' turnover problems as well as reduce the associated costs. The setting of your presentation will affect the material you prepare and your presentation style. For some presentations, you might be standing in front of a screen with the audience arranged in rows or tables throughout the room. For other presentations, you might be sitting at the conference room table with a few key decision makers. And in other situations, you might be delivering the presentation in a remote situation where it's via video conference or web conference or teleconference. Before you prepare the slides or select any other visuals to use, analyze your setting by asking yourself just a few very simple questions. Will you be standing to present the slides, or will you be sitting down with others around a table? If the room is very big, you might need a microphone or a podium that might limit your movement. Or will you have a wireless microphone so you can move around the room more freely? And if your audience will be looking at your slides from a distance, your fonts and images need to be large enough so that anyone in the room can see them clearly. Will you be using your own computer to present the slides and other visuals, or you will be using equipment that is provided by somebody else? If you're using other equipment, be sure that it projects your material correctly and that all fonts, images, video, and audio work as you had intended. Finally, will your audience be looking at your presentation on a computer screen at a remote location or listening via computer or telephone? If so, plan and design your slides that are easy to follow and that do not require you to use your hands or a laser pointer to direct your audience's attention. If you design your slides effectively, you'll be able to direct your audience by pointing with your voice. For example, the picture on the left illustrates, or the numbers in red represent. As you plan your presentation, consider what tools you want to use and what materials you can provide to help your audience better understand your message. Do not restrict yourself to only using slides. You can take advantage of a range of options and combine them in very effective ways. For example, many people choose to project slides and also provide the audience with a hard copy handout. You can embed video or audio files within your slides, or you can use a document camera to project a paper document while making notes on it on a flip chart. The criteria in Figure 11.3 can help you make good choices about the best medium and presentation tools. Preparing an effective presentation begins long before the day you deliver it. In fact, planning an effective presentation begins long before the day you even start to write it. Begin to compose slides only after you've carefully analyzed the who, what, when, where, why, and how of your presentation.